Howdy! How's everybody out there in YouTube land today? I hope this finds you well. Another exciting episode of And That's Why I'm Still Single. Girl that I worked with in the department store that I was working at, her dad had a farm, had a ranch, and had some horses. And she was having a party one Sunday, and she says, "Hey, why don't you come on out to the farm?" She says, "The horses are out there." She says, "It would be nice for somebody riding them. Ain't nobody been riding them in a while." And I said, "Oh, that'd be fun." So I know this one fella that I thought, I knew he had a horse, and I thought, it might be fun for him to go to this party, and we'll go out there and ride the horses. So he said he'd go. On Sunday, we went out there to the party, and we'd been partying with him there and barbecuing and stuff for a little while. And I said, "Hey, let's go out there and saddle up them horses." So we go out to the barn, we get the horses out, we saddle them up. And I had been riding, ever since I was a teenager at home. I had my own horse and stuff, and I knew how to put a saddle on one, how to cinch it down, so it wouldn't slide around on the horse. And I get my horse saddled up, and I'm watching him put the saddle on his, and he ain't cinching it up right. And I told him, I said, "Hey, you're going to have to cinch that cinch tighter. That saddle is going to give way." And he says, "Oh, it's all right. I know what I'm doing." I thought, Lord, this is an accident waiting to happen. But we take off on these horses, and we go out. We get clear to the back of this place, and there's a creek. And when I say creek, it was just, this little trickle of water, basically, that wasn't even, 3 foot across and was only maybe, 6 inches deep. But it was enough to make a mud hole that was running through the back of the place there, and you needed to go through that. And it was just a little bank about a foot down, a foot up, wasn't really much of anything. And so I'm ahead of him, and I take my horse and just give him a little heel there, and up, down we go, and up we go. And it was off about, 15 feet, and I look back, and he's having trouble getting his horse to go across. Well, he spurs him a little bit, gives him some heel, and this horse gets in the middle, just goes down this little bank into the creek and just stands there. And when he gives it the heel to make it go back up the other bank, the saddle slides to the left. Now, when the saddle slides to the left and he's sitting in the saddle, he slides to the left too. And then he falls off into the water. And what was even funnier than that, and I didn't even know before we went riding, he wore a toupee. And when he hits that water, that toupee flies off. And I am trying not to laugh. And he's grabbing this wet mop of hair and trying to get it back on his head. He was more worried about that than anything else. The saddle is hanging upside down now on the horse's belly. And I hollered back, I said, "Do you need some help?" He says, No, go on to the barn. Go on back to the barn. So I will go on back to the barn with my horse and dismounted it, brushed it down. Here he comes. He's got the saddle back up on the horse right. This old wet mop of hair stuck to the top of his head. Oh, and he's mud from head to toe. So we go up to the house, and I told him, I said, "You can't go in the house like that." I went in and I told the girl that had invited us to the party, I said, "Well, he fell off the horse out there because he didn't have the saddle cinched up right. And he fell in the water. I'm going to have to take him someplace, hose him down." She's understood. She says, "Okay." I said, "Horses are back in the barn, brushed down, saddles off of them and everything." I said, "So they're all situated. You don't have to worry about them." And I had to get him out of there. and let him get home where he could get a shower and do something about his toupee. That's why I'm still single.